It's been sitting there since breakfast, completely full, completely untouched, and you're doing the math in your head. Has your cat had a single sip of water all day? Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lucas Aoki, your neighborhood cat vet, and welcome back to the channel. In my clinic, poor water intake is the single most common thread running underneath almost every senior cat I treat for kidney disease. And here's a statistic that should stop you cold. In the wild, a cat's natural prey, mice, birds, small reptiles, is roughly 70% water, so your cat's entire body was built to get most of its hydration from what it eats, not from a bowl on the floor. If you've been feeling guilty about that untouched bowl, hear me. You are not a bad cat parent. Cats hide thirst the same way they hide pain. Almost nobody is ever taught to notice it. So today we're doing a complete masterclass on hydration. 5 secrets. In the exact order I check them in my own exam room. And one of them, the one almost every single owner misses completely, is probably sitting in your kitchen right now, in exactly the wrong spot. Grab a notebook, hit that subscribe button to join our educated cat parent community, and let's get started. Let's start with the biggest lever you have, and it's not the water bowl at all. Dry kibble is only about 8 to 10% moisture. Canned or pouched wet food is 75 to 80% moisture. Almost exactly the same water content as the prey your cat's body evolved to eat. This is the science. A cat with a low thirst drive, one who barely touches the water bowl, can still be almost fully hydrated if enough of their daily food is wet. I had an owner in my clinic last month and she said, "Dr. Lucas, I bought the fanciest fountain on the market and my cat still won't drink. What am I doing wrong?" I asked her one question. "What does your cat eat?" "Dry food only," she said. And that told me everything. We weren't fixing a drinking problem. We were fixing a diet problem wearing a drinking problem's clothes. Here's the correct way to do this. For an average 4 to 5 kilogram cat, aim to get at least half of their daily calories from wet food, and ideally closer to all of it. Don't switch overnight. A sudden full swap can cause loose stools. Instead, mix in 1 to 2 tablespoons of wet food with the existing dry food for the first few days. Then slowly increase the wet portion over 1 to 2 weeks until dry food becomes a small topper rather than the main meal. Please hear this vet warning. Do not simply pour water over dry kibble and call it solved. It gets soggy, it goes bad fast sitting in a bowl, and most cats end up eating around it rather than through it. That soggy kibble trick makes you feel better. It does almost nothing for actual hydration numbers. If your cat turns their nose up at wet food completely, don't force a cold switch. Warm a small spoonful in your hands for a minute, or add a few drops of warm, unsalted water to the pouch. The smell alone often gets a stubborn cat interested again. Here's something almost nobody tells cat parents. In the wild, still water is often stagnant water, and stagnant water carries a higher risk of bacteria and parasites. Your cat's ancestors survived by instinctively preferring moving water, a stream, a dripping rock, water with motion. That instinct never left. It's why you've probably caught your cat trying to drink from the bathroom faucet or staring into a slowly running tap instead of the bowl you filled 20 minutes ago. A cat fountain works with this instinct instead of against it. The moving, aerated water genuinely does draw some cats to drink more, simply because it reads to them as safer and fresher. Here's the correct way to use one. Choose a fountain with a wide, shallow drinking area, not a narrow spout. Run it continuously and clean the pump and reservoir once a week with hot water and a bottle brush. No soap residue left behind. Change the water itself every 1 to 2 days, even with a filter running. And just like bowls, fountains come in plastic, ceramic, and stainless steel versions, and the same scratching and buildup problem applies to plastic ones. If you can, choose a ceramic or stainless steel fountain. It will need less aggressive scrubbing to stay genuinely clean. Please hear this vet warning. A dirty fountain is worse than no fountain at all. A pump that hasn't been cleaned in weeks can build up a biofilm, a slimy bacterial layer that actually makes cats avoid the water entirely and can make some cats sick if they do drink it. If you can't commit to weekly cleaning, you are better off with a simple bowl that you refresh with cool, fresh water twice a day. And I'll be honest with you, my friends, not every cat cares about fountains. Some genuinely prefer a plain, still bowl their whole life. If yours ignores it after a proper 2-week trial, don't force it. Just refresh a regular bowl more often instead and move on to the next secret, because that one might matter even more for your cat specifically. Now let's talk about the bowl. because most owners assume a bowl is just a bowl. It isn't. Cats have extremely sensitive whiskers, packed with nerve endings, and when those whiskers repeatedly brush against the sides of a narrow, deep bowl, some cats experience a real discomfort called whisker fatigue. It's not dramatic, your cat won't yelp, they'll simply start avoiding the bowl, or pull food and water out onto the floor to eat and drink around it instead. I remember a cat named Momo who came in because her owner said she'd stopped drinking almost entirely. We went through the fountain, the food, everything checked out. Then I asked to see her bowl, a small, deep ceramic cup. We switched her to a wide, shallow dish, and within a week her owner sent me a video of Momo drinking normally again. Here's the correct way to choose one. Pick a bowl that's wide and shallow enough that your cat's whiskers never touch the sides while drinking, roughly 10 to 12 centimeters across at minimum for an average cat. Ceramic, glass, or stainless steel are the best materials. Please hear this vet warning about plastic. Plastic bowls scratch easily, and those tiny scratches trap bacteria that regular washing can't fully remove, which can lead to a condition vets call feline chin acne, small black specks and irritation along the chin. If your cat has ever had unexplained chin bumps, the plastic bowl is often the very first thing I ask about. If a wide ceramic dish isn't in the budget right now, even a shallow cereal bowl or a small plate from your own kitchen cupboard works perfectly well as a free, immediate swap. I get this question constantly. Dr. Lucas, I've tried the fountain. I switched to wet food. I even bought the wide ceramic bowl, and my cat still barely drinks. What am I missing? My friends, if you saw the thumbnail of this video, this is exactly what I was talking about. This is the secret that almost nobody checks, because on the surface, it doesn't look like a hydration problem at all. It looks like furniture arrangement. Here's the science. In the wild, a cat's water source and its food source were almost never the same spot, or even close together. A carcass can contaminate nearby water, so cats instinctively developed a wariness of drinking right next to where they eat. That instinct is still fully wired into your cat's brain today. When you place the water bowl directly beside the food bowl, which is exactly what almost every store-bought feeding station does, you're quietly telling your cat's ancient survival brain that this water might not be safe. Add a litter box nearby and it gets worse. In your cat's mind, that territory now smells like waste, and waste means disease risk. Their inner voice, if we could hear it, is essentially saying, "This spot does not feel like a safe place to drink." Here's the correct way to fix this. Move the water bowl at least 1 full meter away from both the food bowl and any litter box, ideally into a separate quiet spot entirely, a hallway, a windowsill, a quiet corner of another room. For multi-level homes, place at least 1 additional water station on a different floor. As a general rule, aim for 1 water station per cat in the household, plus 1 extra, spread around different rooms rather than clustered together. Please hear this vet warning. This single change is often the difference between a cat with early kidney strain and a cat who drinks enough to protect those kidneys for years. I have seen owners fix every single other variable and still get nowhere, purely because the bowl never moved more than a few steps from the food. If you're short on space, even separating bowls onto opposite ends of the same counter or room, with the litter box in a completely different area, makes a real difference. It doesn't have to be elaborate, it just has to be separate. Last secret, and this one is pure bonus flavor. Some cats need a little extra incentive, and that's completely fine. A small amount of flavor can meaningfully increase how much liquid a reluctant cat takes in over a day. The safest option is a simple, homemade, unsalted broth. Simmer plain chicken breast or plain fish in water with absolutely no onion, no garlic, no salt, no seasoning of any kind. Both onion and garlic are genuinely toxic to cats, even in small, repeated amounts. Let it cool completely, strain out any solids, and offer a tablespoon or 2 on its own or pour it over food. Another simple trick, the water left in a can of sardines packed in water, no salt added, offered in tiny amounts, a teaspoon at a time, once or twice a week. Cats generally find the smell irresistible, and it's genuinely safe in that small quantity. Please hear this vet warning. Skip anything with added salt. Skip tuna as a daily habit because of mercury exposure, and skip any store-bought broth from your own kitchen unless you've personally checked the label for onion or garlic powder, which hide in almost every commercial broth and stock on the shelf. For a fun warm weather budget trick, freeze a little of that plain broth into an ice cube tray and drop one cube into the water bowl or a food puzzle on a hot day. Most cats find the movement of it melting genuinely fascinating, and you get hydration and enrichment in the same 5 minutes. You can also experiment with temperature on regular days. Some cats who ignore a bowl at room temperature will drink readily from one that's slightly cool, almost like it just came out of the refrigerator, so don't be afraid to test both and see which your own cat prefers. Okay, I know that's a lot, so let's bring it all together. We covered wet food as your biggest lever, moving water through a fountain if your cat takes to it, choosing a wide, shallow bowl to avoid whisker fatigue, separating water from food and the litter box, and finally, flavor boosting with safe, unsalted broth or a little sardine water. I can imagine you might be feeling a little overwhelmed right now, like you need to change everything tonight. Please don't. Here's the golden rule of my exam room. Never introduce all 5 changes on the same day. Overhaul everything at once, and you risk a cat who's too unsettled to eat or drink at all, and that is a much bigger problem than the one we started with. Instead, use this simple formula. Pick just one change this week. Once your cat has settled into it, add the next one the following week. 5 small weeks, 1 lasting habit. It genuinely takes seconds a day. Now, I need to be honest with you about where these tricks end. If your cat has already been diagnosed with kidney disease, these 5 secrets support that treatment. They do not replace it. Your vet's prescription diet and any fluid therapy still matter. And please hear this. If you have a male cat straining in the litter box, crying out, or visibly trying to urinate with little or nothing coming out, that is not a hydration problem you can fix with a fountain. That is a urinary blockage, a true same-night emergency, and you need to get to an emergency vet immediately. If you've made it this far in the video, taking notes about bowl placement and broth recipes for a cat who probably doesn't even realize how closely you're watching over them, that tells me everything about the kind of cat parent you are. You are proving how much you truly love them, one small, unglamorous change at a time. If this video helped you, hit that like button. It helps tell the algorithm that safe veterinary advice is valuable, and it helps our channel protect so many more cats. Subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into your cat's health. And in the comments, tell me, which of these 5 secrets are you going to try first tonight? And what's your cat's name? I try to read every single comment. If you know another cat parent who's worried about a cat that barely touches the water bowl, send them this video. You might just change that cat's life. Give your cat a gentle chin scratch for Dr. Lucas tonight. Stay safe, always trust your instincts, and I will see you all in the very next video.